Thank you so much for the invitation, and it's a pleasure to be here and to talk about one of the things that the things that I'm really passionate about. And today, as the title says, I want to talk about shore power as an important part of greener shipping and how we in Plug approach the construction of this important infrastructure. So Plug is today a company that works with shore power and also charging for all types of vessels. Our goal is to contribute to speed up the construction of the necessary infrastructure so that all vessels, from the smaller leisure boat to the largest cruise ship, can connect to shore power and access to the necessary charging capabilities. And today I will focus on shore power for larger vessels. But first, I want to make sure that we are all on the same page with what shore power actually is. So shore power, also known as cold ironing, is the process of providing electrical power from the shore to a ship while it's docked, and thereby allowing a ship's auxiliary engines to be turned off and the burning of diesel fuel to cease. And a typical shore power facility consists of a transformer, possibly a frequency converter and switchgear. And then we have a cable management system, CMS, to allow for cables to be either driven or hoisted aboard the ship. We have an interface towards the grid company. In Bergen, this would be BKK, but obviously in other parts of Norway and in Europe, this will be the local grid provider. And then we have an interface towards the ship where our cable connects through the hatch on the ship side. And Plug both designs, builds, owns and operates all the infrastructure between the grid company and the ship. We do not produce any technical assets, but we have competence in how to construct this type of infrastructure. And as I will revert to, we also, through our owner, Eviny, have the possibility to also contribute with funding and capital into these shore power projects. But as this drawing looks quite easy, the full picture when you look at shore power is not as simple as this. Different ports, different vessels, and have different needs. So the different vessels have differences in connections or the plugs that we need to connect. We see differences in voltages between the different ship types. There are definitely differences in power need. And there are also differences in what type of frequency they demand. So it's a quite complex picture when you're trying to figure out what type of shore power installation you need to build for a specific key and what type of shore power installations you need to be able to have at a port in order to serve all ships that call that port. In addition to this technical aspect, there are other elements as well that we need to consider while building a shore power installation. We have things like if there is enough grid capacity available and how much will that cost? What about the tariff structure, the energy price, perhaps compared to the fuel price? How much energy does the ships consume while at berth? Where on the ship do we find this shore power hatch? That's not standardized and it could be everywhere on the ship, basically. Related to the port, we need to have details on the number of ships calling, how many keys they have, how many how much flexibility do we have when it comes to berthing position, and also if we need to if we need to plan for simultaneous connections, or if it's just one ship and one connection. So there are lots of things, and it's quite complex, and all of these things need to be considered, and we need to have a good answer for this before we can dock the ship and make it green and connect it to shore power. In Bergen, I think that the port of Bergen has worked for several years with many environmental measures, and they have really been at the forefront. But as they were going to construct a shore power facility for cruise, I think they found it a bit difficult, both financially and also technically, to know how to do that. They decided to team up with the renewable company BKK, now named Eviny. And through the process of finding out how to build a shore power facility for cruise at the port of Bergen, they found common ground and decided that they wanted to collaborate on shore power at the port of Bergen. They actually decided that they wanted to make a joint venture, a company that was owned both by Eviny and the port. And that company should both own and further develop all the shore power facilities at the port of Bergen. And what we see in the picture here is one of the results of that collaboration. It is Europe's largest shore power facility for cruise ships, and it has a capacity of 48 MVA and can deliver shore power to 3 ships at the same time. So through the process of finding out how to build shore power for cruise ships in Bergen, Plug was born, basically. It was through that process that we found out that this needs to be done in a professional way, and you need both competence and also capital in order to make this happen. Today, Plug owns and operates 21 connection points at the port of Bergen. We have 5 connection points for cruise, which then can supply 3 cruise ships at the same time. Those are the purple ones at the map we can see now. And then we have 13 connection points for offshore supply vessels. And we also have a dedicated connection point for the coastal voyage, or Hurtigruten as it's known in Norwegian. We're also looking into future developments and the potential for building shore power connections for both cargo, ro-ro, supply, and also super yachts, amongst others. So we're definitely looking into further developing the shore power capabilities of the port of Bergen. As mentioned before we started, many ports that are thinking about shore power tend to focus on just the building phase and making sure that they can that they can build it. But in Plug, we are really concerned also about the fact that this needs to be used as much as possible. So it's really nice to see that throughout the years, we've had a great development, positive development in energy sold to ships. As you can see, from 2019 until today, it has increased from 4 gigawatt hours to 20 gigawatt hours last year. And this, of course, has a great impact on the air quality of the city, reducing lots of NOx and SOx, and also reducing noise in the city center, but it also reduces a large amount of CO2. So last year, we saved around 16,000 tons of CO2. And it's also really nice to see that the number of ships calling at the Port of Bergen that are able to connect to shore power is also increasing significantly. In 2019, we saw 19 different ships connecting to shore power. That developed to 32 in 2020, and in 2021 we had 50 unique ships connecting to shore power. This means that if we and the ports do our job on the infrastructure side, we do see that the ship owners are also doing their job of making shipping greener, and that's a great story. As mentioned, figuring out how to build a shore power installation is quite complex. And as we spent quite a lot of time together with the port in Bergen, deciding especially how to build the shore power installation for cruise, we also realized that it would be extremely sad if every port around Norway and even in Europe we're going to go through the same process, because we had experienced so much and learned so much through that process. So we asked ourselves the question, why shouldn't Plug be able to collaborate with other ports as well? And that is what we decided to do. It didn't make sense for the Port of Bergen to take part and invest in shore power projects in other ports. So the original Plug company that we founded together with the Port of Bergen changed its name to Plugbergen. And then we established a new company, Plug, that was fully owned by Eveny. And this company should be a tool to speed up shore power infrastructure and contribute with both funding and competence for new shore power projects in other ports. And as we probably used around 6 months, perhaps even more, to figure out how to solve the case of shore power for cruise at the Port of Bergen, we only used 2 weeks to do the same job for the Port of Ålesund. And we now have a joint venture with the Port of Ålesund that is building a shore power installation for cruise in Ålesund, and it is due to be ready for the first connection during this spring. So we're really much looking forward to that. And through this, we have developed Plug's business model. So what we basically do is that we now team up with the local port. The port will contribute with its knowledge and extremely important knowledge on the traffic, the types of vessels calling, how the whole operation of the port is functioning. And then Plug will contribute with all the steps that we see on this slide. We will first conduct a feasibility study where we will see if this is commercially viable and if we need to support, if we need to apply for any economic support in order to make this commercially viable. We then design, plan and develop the shore power facility. Through our experience, we have a great overview of the supplier market, so we can challenge the suppliers and we can make them probably better by challenging them and making them make better products for us. We also take care of the construction process and oversee that, and we have our own systems for both operations and maintenance and invoicing and customer service. So by making a joint venture with the port in order to build these shore power installations, We share the investment with the port, and we share the risk in these types of projects, and we also share the possible future profit. And luckily for us, we've seen a very positive development in the number of projects that we are carrying out. As you can see on this map, Plug now has shore power projects almost all over Norway, with Bergen, of course, being the port where it's absolutely most mature and where we are in operation as of today. But we're also in many other ports, and even in our first port outside of Norway, which is a great development, and I'm really looking forward to work more with ports outside of Norway. And as you can see, I've put a dotted square around the ports in northern Norway, and that's where we've done it in a bit different way. Plug has teamed up with 4 energy companies in north of Norway and has then founded Plug Nord AS. And Plug Nord will then again invest in shore power projects together with the ports in northern Norway. So we have, amongst others, projects with both Svolvær and Harstad going on at the moment. And it's really exciting to see how we can contribute with our experience and hopefully be able to speed up the projects in northern Norway through this. So for Plug's part, I mean, we think that shore power is definitely a part of the solution for more sustainable shipping. And by collaborating and doing things together, we can make it hopefully both faster, and I also would like to add a bit more fun. So this is the way that we would like to do it also going forward. And as mentioned, I think that it's great potential also to export this business model to other countries in Europe, and that's one of the things that I'm working with every day. So thank you so much for your time and for listening.